With this podcast, we talk about all things buying and selling, right? And so let's fast forward a few years. Business is going well. You guys are growing great. And you're like, okay, like maybe we should sell this thing. Walk us through how that conversation went. You have a partnership, you have two different families, two different goals, always moving pieces. Like, how did you guys decide to sell? And then, how did that conversation start between the two of you guys?
Who wants to go? Cam, you start.
Yeah, because it started with me. We saw the success of the company. We saw how fast it was growing and how many tens of thousands of volunteers that were showing up yearly for us. And I knew in my entrepreneurial journey that it would take significant risk and significant skill to move to the next level of business. And Sean and I had been working and grinding for 5+ years as brother-in-laws, as best buds, as our my wife is his sister. We were Sunday dinners together, etc. So we knew that there was going to be a time when things would start changing, lives would start growing apart. Sean having children, us planning to have a family, wanting to maybe move away from Arizona and start a different kind of life. And I think that's really was the transition point for me. Was we built this as best as I knew how, kind of winging it from the get-go, and creating something special to us. And then I think one night Sean and I sat together and I told him that, dude, I think maybe this might be the beginning of the end. Is this something that we should maybe start considering? And then it just kind of naturally flowed into, I think that we have a sellable business, and I think that we could get a premium for it, because it's really a good, it's a solid, good business.
Yeah, I think in that process, we had been, I think leading up to that meeting, we had a mentor, Jesse, who really helped us throughout the business in various ways. He has a background in finance, and so it was even before this conversation, was helping us really understand cash flows, really actually have pro formas to just better understand our business and where money was coming in and going out. And we were, especially through COVID, we really had to find those dollars, track them. And we had conversations leading up to this of hitting that point and saying, okay, we'd seen brands that were 1 year to 3 years older than us that had kind of taken that next step up. They had pushed through and kind of were getting into that higher tier e-com brand, just a larger presence. And so we knew that it would take significant effort, significant hires, significant resources. We started talking about, do we create an advisory board? That's something I had the luxury of having a previous startup, and okay, maybe we just need a bigger network and broader perspectives, or do we need to bring on funding or additional partners? And so we kind of started having this conversation of seeing that inevitable next step, and then I think evolving and Cam bringing it to me, but just also I think we were at that point of knowing that to push through, it was going to take significant effort, and so we just started kind of to reach out in all directions. Like, let's take a shotgun approach. Let's keep moving down the path. If we found funding, or the books and improving the books and being better with our numbers would help with whatever path, if we go and raise money or if we sell the business. And so through that process, we found a really great group that was interested in buying, and a few people, yourself included, Brian, and then it just kind of from there very naturally evolved into, okay, this could be something real. And even if we don't sell, the process of selling was invaluable, to really look at our business and see where we could improve it.
Yeah, I love that on a couple of different fronts. And first off, life changes. You had lots of different changes, and knew that, hey, not every business you do is going to be the one you're doing for 40 years, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. and you can still look back at a brand that you put your heart and soul into and say, it's getting put into the people with the right hands to take it to the next level. And then I love that you said, Jesse, you had a mentor in there. And a lot of times, like people who have a normal day job or don't run their own business, they don't understand the power of a mentor. And so whether you run your own business or, you have a job, whatever it is, you still need someone that can see unemotionally what is happening in the business and say, hey, I've done this, you're on this path. These are the things you need to do. These are the things you need to think about. And then you all having the wherewithal to discover that, like, every business, in order to get to the next level, requires another level of effort, skill set, and really capital too, right? You have to have some sort of level. That's why companies raise money, or that's why, people are brought on for certain skill sets. And it's not that you couldn't develop those, but sometimes you're just like, this isn't the idea I'm going to continue on. Or, you know what, I really like that stage in the first few years when I'm building something, or I really like, this aspect of building, but once it's from, 1 to 10, I don't want to take it from 10 to 50 or 10 to 100. Someone else can do that. And I think that's okay. It doesn't always have to be so defined that you have to come in and do everything yourself and know that you're going to be there forever. So I love like those on a couple different levels, because I've seen it on my own businesses where I had an e-commerce business. In order for me to take it to the next level, I had to work more than 5 hours a week. And that was not the business I wanted to work more than 5 hours a week in. And so someone else took it over, bought it, moved on, and, continues to crush it and take it to the next level.